Okay, so we're gonna finish up. Let's pretend something. Let's pretend, oh my goodness, I have to go early. I just want to do something to make me feel better before I go to all my activities today. I don't care if it's meetings or if it's, whatever it is. So I'm pretending that I'm in that situation. So what would I do? That's what I'm going to show you really quickly. See my chair? Number one of the best things you can do to start gently warming up and feeling better, because let's say you have to do an abbreviated session today, is number one, I'm going to step wide. Sorry, first I forgot. We're going to use our pole, our chair, and sometimes our little pad. Remember that? And my little tea towel. See my tea towel? So I always have my tea towel ready to go. If you don't have a tea towel, you can just use your hands, whatever. Okay. High hip hinge into a sit down. So I'm going to go into a sit down. And as I go into a sit down, because I'm warming myself up for mobility. Let's say you get up, you have a tight back, you have to go do therapy, you have to go do this, you have to go do that. Sit down on the pad that raises you 2 inches. Then I'm going to lean in. So I'm getting you ready quickly to just loosen up and oil up the joints. Do you see what I'm doing right now? So as I've got my elbows on my knees, my feet are on the floor, I just turn gently. I don't go all the way, and I push on my elbow on the opposite way I'm turning, the opposite leg where I'm turning, and I drop my chin. See that? So already I'm setting up really great mobility parameters to help us do this safely, but really well in a short amount of time. Then I'm going to come center. I'm not going to go straight to the other side. I'm going to come up. I'm going to take my tea towel. I'm going to put it at the base of my neck. So I'm getting you warmed up, loosened up, oiled up in an abbreviated way, because I know some of you have to leave early. So see what I'm doing? Do you see my rib cage? I lifted my rib cage, number one. Now I'm going to take the occipital bone as I'm pulling down, and I'm going to push my head back with my chin tucked. Really pull it back. And then I'm going to come back in, take a breath. I'm going to turn my head, take a breath. I'm going to try to get my chin as close to this shoulder as I can. Take a big breath, come center, go the other way, drop your chin, keep your mouth closed. That means teeth shut. Then come forward and then go back down again. So see my little tea towel's right here. I'm going to go back down. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. So my elbows are on my knee. And I'm going to turn. I'm going to gently push. I'm going to gently push my elbow into the opposite way, the leg that is opposite of where I'm turning. And now drop your chin. Drop your chin, drop your chin. Push on that knee, push on that knee, push on that knee. And then come back center again. Take a big breath, come up. Now I'm going to bring my hands right here. I'm going to open, soften the elbows, and then pull those elbows back like you're trying to touch the chair. Drop your chin, okay? And while I'm pulling back here, I'm going to come back forward. So this is more of a dynamic kind of a stretch. I'm not just going to sit there forever. I'm going to open, and then I'm going to come forward and bring my hands right in here. And then I'm going to pull and come back, and I'm pushing on my feet. I'm going to open, drop my shoulders, take a really big deep breath through the nose, drop my shoulders, bring those elbows back. You should feel it opening, bring it all the way back down. Yeah, like you're going to put your feet right in the floor, okay? And you're reaching, you're feeling this in through your groin. You should be. Take a big breath. Real quickly now, just recap. You come right here with your elbows. And I'm telling you, if you need to kind of just feel better as you go out the door, just take a few minutes to sit, to stand maybe 3 times, turn, drop your chin to your shoulder as you're pushing on your elbow. You should feel this in your groin, the leg opposite of where I'm turning. Then you come center, take a big deep breath, come back up, really drop the shoulders, pull back, come back in, elbows on the knees, drop your chin, turn, push on that elbow as you're turning and dropping your chin into that opposite shoulder. Take a big breath and then come back, okay? And then come back up. One more time. See, here's my tea towel. It could be a stretchy band. I'm gonna put it right here. It could be, you know, a hoodie, a t-shirt, whatever. See how I'm pulling down? See, I'm just pulling down. And then I'm gonna push back. This one right here will relieve so much neck issues. Keep your chin tucked. Keep the hollow in your back by staying rib cage up. And then release and come forward. Yay. Okay. Then I'm gonna act like I'm gonna cross my leg. Come forward. Act like I'm gonna cross my leg, but I don't really. Come forward. And act like you're gonna stand up. You didn't see that at the very end. I know you didn't. I'll bet you didn't anyway. So as I come back, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna cross my legs. But now, right now, what are you doing with your back? What are you doing? Keep your chin tucked. Breath through the nose. Then when you come forward, right here is where you say rib cage up. Then you act like you're gonna cross your leg over. See, that starts to attack right through here. This starts to really move better when you do that, but you gotta say rib cage up. And then you come back forward again. Take a big breath. Now I'm gonna take my hands. I'm gonna come down with my palms up. And I'm gonna take one leg and go out, and one leg and go out, and one leg and go out, and one leg and go out. And I'm keeping my shoulders down. And I'm breathing in through the nose. Yeah. Say rib cage up as you hip hinge back and forth. Okay. Take a big deep breath. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Then after I did some of those little flossing moves for my knees, my shoulders, my hips. See, every time I do this, and if you are having trouble, a tight back, a hip, whatever, if you will just do a series of, and again, this is a high hip hinge, and then turn and touch. Drop in, come back up, turn and touch that hand to the knee. That's what I'm meaning. When you go down, you say rib cage up, you breathe through your nose, you turn and you touch your hand on your knee. And you're giving that back a gentle waking up, okay? Big breath, then I'm gonna come up, take a big deep breath, bring those hands right into that W again, reach and back down, okay? Just like you're trying to hold your hands behind your back, lower down, okay? See that? See that? Yeah. So I'm gonna bend my knees. I'm looking at my chair right here, my knees toward the chair. I got my hands back here. And here's the deal. The minute you put your hands back here, you tend to want to roll your shoulders forward. So I'm telling you, drop your shoulders. Yes. Now, as you drop your shoulders and roll the shoulder blades in, you don't force this move. But all you're trying to do with this is straighten your elbows as you tuck your chin in. So now we're going to do the very important retraction of your neck. See how I'm coming up? Don't roll those shoulders. They're going to want to roll. That's the push pull. I want to sit up here. So I'm holding my hands back here. I'm stepping wide. Now drop the shoulders, say rib cage up, pull that chin in. Now pull the hands up as the shoulders pull together, the shoulder blades. Keep your chin tucked, take a big breath, and retract with your head, and then bring them down, and they'll go into a little roundedness and go way out and then pull back. See that protraction, retraction? Drop your shoulders. Yeah, protraction, retraction. Now I'm gonna go into my toe box, gently, toe box. I'm holding these out here. Bring them down. Let the shoulders round, just gently. Big breath through the nose. Yeah, keep your chin tucked and then go back out. Now keep it tucked again and bring those arms back. See, I'm just straightening my elbow. I'm not lifting from the shoulder. That's very important to hear. Some of you see me doing this and you think I'm working through the, no, I'm not. I'm straightening my elbows. Then I pull my shoulders in and it's perfect without overdoing, okay? So now when I do my retraction, I'm gonna turn my chin, take a big breath, hold it out there, bring it forward, turn my chin. Try not to head tilt. Then I'm gonna go up on those toes again, just up on the toes, drop your shoulders, put your hands on the pad. You can either do a fist or you can do your hands, and then you just gently step out, okay? So we have opened up the shoulders. I'm continuing to do protraction and retraction with my neck, okay? And I'm just doing a little bit of a calf pump now. So find the stretch, drop the shoulders, bend the knee, and then pump it back. See that? See that gentle move? That's a calf pump. And honestly, if you would get up and do a few of the upper body shoulder things that I did, and then a calf pump. Sit to stand, a couple of sit to stands, do that turn. You're gonna feel so much better, okay? Now I'm ready to change. So, but what I'm gonna do is, instead of just staying down here in this position and bringing my foot in and changing, I'm gonna bend the knee, push myself back, bring one hand back and one hand forward, then switch it, okay? If you have shoulder issues, you're gonna need to bend your elbow. Just go like this. See that? See, bend. See, I'm pushing into the knee here, back here. I'm turning. And if I have shoulder issues, I will bend my elbow. If I want to really go the full motion, then I will simply go up and over, switch and switch, up and over. See that? So now we're pulling it all together, all together. Drop your shoulders, take a big breath. Put that chin back, big breath, and big breath, okay? So I only did like 3. Step in, and then we'll repeat, all right? Big breath, drop the shoulders, step back, put your hands down on your platform. So you can do full hand here. You should be feeling the stretch in your calf right now, okay? Take a big breath. Now I'm gonna take the chin up and reach and look up as far as I can while I'm holding that stretch. Now I start that knee in the back, okay? So look up and then bring that chin in, turn as you're pumping through the knee and the calf and the foot. See that? Okay, one more time. Up with the chin. As you do that little calf pump, drop your shoulders. Big breath. Look way up there. Then come into the retraction. And then take that chin over to the shoulder. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath, and you're bending that knee, dropping the shoulder, taking a breath. And you're gonna come here, and you're gonna go right here and bring it back. If you have that problematic shoulder and you're gonna be feeling all the moves now come together. So when you come right here, you gotta say rib cage up, turn, drop your shoulders. Take a big breath through the nose, turn. And if you have a problem with your shoulder, elbows bent, you shouldn't have pain. And if you have pain in a movement, then don't do the movement, modify it. Okay, here we go. Drop the shoulders, take a breath. See how I just do about you can do 3 to 6. 3 to 6. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Okay, bring it back in. Yes. Last move, and then we're gonna go down. We're gonna finish the sport movement challenge that I gave you when we got froze out. And this morning we're literally getting froze out up here. I can't even bring my plants in yet. I mean, I can't even take my plants out of the garage. Okay, do you remember when I told you to just grab hold of your hands back here? You remember that? Okay, well now I got a bar. Okie dokie. And I'm gonna do one of the same moves. See this? So if I were just with you, I would see how you're gripping, number 1. I would say step wide, number 2. And then don't be doing this. See what I'm doing? How do you not do that? You soften your knees, number 1. Take a big breath, number 2. Number 3, drop your shoulders and say rib cage up. Yes. Keep those knees soft. Okay, now you're going to try to lift that bar. Now what I'm doing right now is prepping you for the little foray into our sporting moves that I finished up with. That honestly, probably if I could pick maybe just one thing to counteract all the forward bent syndrome that we all have going on, it would be this move that I'm going to do on the floor. But if I can't get in the floor, I'm going to do it against a wall. I'll push into the wall with my belly taut, my knees soft, and I'll pretend that I'm on the wall. Then I can put my hands on the wall and move them in the way that I'm going to move them with those of you who are going to get in the floor with me. Yes, you heard that. Now, if you want to do it against the chair, you can do it against the chair, but I really would like to see you get up against a wall if you can keep seeing what I'm doing. Okie dokie. So this bar is a really good way to get your shoulders opened up. And if you have a golf club, if you have a walking stick, if you have one of our dowels, wherever you're at, and you have one of those items, you can help yourself to better posture. Do you see what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm just resting this bar in my hands back here. I'm dropping my shoulders, number 1. And then I try to act like I'm getting my shoulder blades to squeeze together, okay? But I don't do that if I'm junting my chin out. So I'm going to do the retraction and lift, okay? And then you kind of walk around like this. I dare you. Walk a quarter mile with a pole or a golf club or a walking stick like this. But you can't roll and cheat and say you're back here. You got to drop those shoulders and pull the shoulder blades in gently. Got it? After you've done that, yay, take a big breath. You're going to come right here. Okay, now we're going to go down on the floor. Then I'm going to go on top of my head. Okay, Take a breath, see how everything's working. Where's the position of your elbows right now? So some of you have them here, some of you have them flying out here. Drop the shoulders. Then you take that pole up as far as you can. And then you come right to the top of the head. And here's the deal, y'all. I want to see if you can go forward with your elbows. And then I want to see if I can come down and then the elbows are just out to the side. See that? So as I come up, I'm going to go forward with them, a little hingy move. And then I'm going to go out to the side and go up. And then I'm going to do that hingy move and they're forward. Okay, this little move is an excellent move to help your shoulders to get in the right positions. Okie dokie. And then come back down. Okay, you ready? Yeah, I asked you that because I don't hear all the no's saying, no, I'm not ready. So there it is. So you're going to either do this against the chair back, or you're going to be against a wall or standing, however you want to do it. But I would like for your hands to be on the wall if possible. If not, do everything from the chair. Those of you can, and you can still see what's going on, we're going to get in the floor, y'all. Mobility Wednesday. And I'm telling you, what I'm fixing to do with your movement abilities is going to help tremendously. And it's one that, yeah, I don't do it on a regular basis because I know there's those of you who are reticent to get in the floor and you're not set up so that you can be in your bed. You could do every one of these in your bed before you get up, seriously. So here I am, number one, okay? First of all, I'm gonna slide this leg forward. You can do this seated, no problem at all. See how I did that? See how I did that? So I could do it. So you can put your foot up and then hip hinge, don't turn, and come straight forward. You're pushing your butt back, okay? So you can put your hand on the chair. If you're standing, make sure that you have a pole or a wall because you will get off balance here. I'm just telling you. See how I'm pulling this back? I'm pulling that toe up and I'm going down as far as I feel I can, and I'm gonna go point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point and flex. Then I'm going to come up with that leg. I'm going to go to the all 4 points. I'm going to bring the other leg up. I could wait and do it at the end, but I'm just going to go ahead and get it done right now. So here I am. See? Anytime you find yourself in this situation where you're getting up from picking something up, whatever, don't get up until you've taken the opportunity to slide the heel out and then hip hinge. And you come down and you act like you're going to try to pull your toe. Okay? And it's not that you even have to touch your toe. You get it because you're feeling the stretch right here. And it's a good stretch in the hamstring and all the way up into the gluteal where the sciatic nerve comes right down through. Take a big breath through the nose. Keep your chin tucked. Don't jut your chin out. Keep your chin tucked, shoulders down. As you hip hinge and push back with your butt, you're pulling in with that toe. And then you point, flex, stay in that position. You feel that stretch up the back of the hamstrings. And you point and you manipulate that ankle. Get it really working good. Take a big breath, bring that leg back, and here you are on your hands and knees. Now, if you can't get in the floor, but you can do your hands and knees from this chair, you can do everything we're gonna do right now, all right? So put your hands on the chair, and we're gonna take one leg back, And we've done this one many, many times. And I will keep doing this many, many times. And somebody might say, well, I'm just so tired of doing that move. And I'm like, well, are you tired of putting a fork to your mouth every day? Maybe we should find a different way to do that. I hope you're laughing right now. I'm wanting you to see the irony of it. There are certain moves that we have to do on a regular basis if you're going to keep your muscles and your joints and your bones where they're working much better. And this is one of them. I'm going to tuck in my chin. I'm on my fists. Okay, you don't have to be flat down if that bothers your wrists. But I'm right here, drop my shoulders, lift my leg, point, flex, hold my hand above the ground. And you don't have to reach it out. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked. Go up as far as you feel comfortable. If you only feel comfortable with your hand right here hovering above the ground, that's fine. Take a breath, pull your tummy in tight, and bring it back down and bring it back down. Go into an elbow and push your butt back as far as you feel you can. And if you have a replaced knee, like I have, you're only going to be able to go so far on that. That's just the way it is. Take a big breath. Okay, other leg, opposite arm. I'm going to take my leg back first. So it's going to go right here. Now is when you squeeze your gluteal. Drop your shoulders, soften up your elbows. You lift, and then after your leg is up, you hover with your hand. And you can do this very thing standing with your feet, with your hands in the chair, lifting an opposite hand, opposite foot, hold, take a breath, hold, take a breath, hold, and then do a touch, lift, do a touch, lift, do a touch, lift, do a touch, lift. Bring it back. Okay. So those of you who are a little bit OCD, I can hear you saying, you didn't do that on the other side. Therefore, we will. So if I were doing this, I couldn't get in the floor. I can do all of this from the chair, standing with my little feet and doing all of this, okay? So here I go. Now I'm going to take the leg back first, drop my shoulders, pull my chin in, soften up my elbows, lift, squeeze that gluteal, then take the opposite hand up. You bring it all the way out if you can, and you do that little touch, lift, touch, drop your chin, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath as you're touching and lifting. Keep your elbows soft, breath, and breath, and come back, and go down, 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 okay? Now, that's the precursor to what we're gonna be doing. Now, I have a little bar here, see? You can use the bar, or you don't have to use the bar. It's whatever floats your boat with this, okay? I happen to like to grasp something. So see, I'm right here on my elbows. I'm gonna crawl myself out. And now I'm gonna put it into that whole sporting paradigm that I presented just the other day when we got froze out. Pretend you're swimming. I know. Pretend you're swimming. And the floor is the buoyancy of the water. So if you were standing and doing this, you would be against the wall. And you're going to step into the wall and then lean your hip bones into the wall. That's the point. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to take my elbows out and I'm going to put my forehead, and if you need to, depending on what kind of a floor you're in, or on the wall. Try this on the wall. See, you can just put this down and you just take your little forehead and you put it down into the down position, into the floor. See that? So I'm against the wall. My hands are out, my elbows are on the wall. And I'm gonna sneak my hands all the way up. Take a big breath. Bring the elbows down. And at this point, see if you're on the wall, your hips, your hip bones and your tummy is pushing into the wall. And you've got your forehead on the wall. And you're squeezing tight. And you're gonna take one leg up and one leg up. Okay? Just like you were swimming. Okay? So it's gonna be here. It's gonna be here. And you're gonna go push, point flex, lift, and lift. Okay? Lift, squeeze the butt, roll and lift. So you're going a little bit of a roll, just like if you were swimming. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Yes. So you're just bringing this up. Now when you bring it up, go point flex, drop. Point flex, drop. Keep those hands right here. Now I'm gonna go up just a tiny bit. Okay? Drop your shoulders. Lift, drop. When you lift, you do a point flex if possible. Drop. Take a big breath. Point flex, drop. Point flex, drop. Roll, point flex, drop. Tight tummy. Point flex, drop. Point flex and drop. Now, bring your hands right down beside you, and you're gonna push yourself back. So if I were on the wall, I would simply be putting my hands right in front of me, into my elbows, and I would push myself back. And you can keep your chin tucked for a bit, and then you gently lift your chin and stretch through the whole chest and neck, and then you bring that back in. Just do it for a little bit. But this one, the one I'm doing right now with your back, yeah, you hang out there for a bit. And you can do this against the wall. I do it all the time. Like I told you at the beginning of class, I get against a wall, I turn around, and I might not be facing the wall. I turn around and lean my back up against the wall, and I just go into a hyperextension just like this. Boy, does it help so much. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Okay? Now, I'm gonna roll. Okay, so you would roll to one side. So if you were standing at the wall, now you're standing. And you just take your little leg up. So if you're standing at the wall, you put your hand on the wall, just like I have my hand here on the floor. And you just take your leg out. That's it. This spanning, adduction, abduction, very important to pair with your swimmers. Okay? And we haven't even put them together yet. It'll be fun, I promise. Okay, watch your shoulder. Watch your shoulder. Look at your foot. The toe should be out or pointed down. Okay? I know. I understand. I do. Okay, take a big breath. I'm going to come back to the wall. Rotate to the other side. Keep my elbow in. Okay, that means get that shoulder in the socket. Straight out. Okay, dorsiflexion. And you come up and back. So when you're at the wall, you just take that leg out and back. Watch your shoulder. Take out and back. Breath. You can do a point flex. You can do a point flex. Keep that shoulder in. Point flex. Point flex. Point flex. And then you roll back down. Now the bar. Yeah, we're raising the bar. Okay. Now, see what I'm doing with my feet? I don't know if you see it or not. Those of you who have plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, this is one of the best ways to stretch your feet. You have gentle pressure. See, my feet aren't that heavy, right? Drop your shoulders and put your toes underneath. And then just tighten up your knees. Tighten up your quads, I'm sorry. Tighten your quads, it will lift your knees, okay? You can do this standing, you can do this seated. See this? Take a big breath. Yeah. So you're pushing down into the ball of your foot and you're squeezing your quads, bringing them down. Yeah, and you just do that a couple of repetitions and you try to get those toes and that foot in a really good stretch. But we're unloaded is the point, okay? Yeah, I'm just doing maybe 6. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, and come down, okay? Now, before we lift the bar, I got my hands here. Stay with me on this. This is a little nuanced move. Drop your shoulders. Now, all I want you to do is press into your hands, the palms. And I want you to act like you're going to lift your elbows. Some of you may not be able to lift your elbows, but I want you to act like it. So you drop your chin, take a big breath. Okay? Press into the palms and act like you're going to lift your elbows. And just hang out here for a second or two and then come back down. I know. Okay, now we're going to swim again. So you know how we did one leg at a time, like a flutter kick? Now we've got a floaty board, and this is our floaty board. Okie dokie. So I'm going to take this, and if it bothers me in my shoulders at all to go straight out with my arms, then I won't do it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my forehead down. You can use a little something on the floor. Forehead goes down, and your elbows are bent, and you lift. And you just hang out here for a second or two, and then you take one leg up and the other leg up. You squeeze one gluteal, then you squeeze the other gluteal. Take a big breath. And you just hang out here if you don't want to lift it. But you're going one leg up, heel is leading, other leg up, heel is leading, one leg up, heel is leading, other leg up. Take a breath, breath, breath. Take a big breath, and a big breath, and bring the hands down. And let those legs, the feet, go flat on the ground. Okay, now we bend at the knee. So I'm right here. Do you see how I can go with my shoulders here to the ears, and then I drop my chin and I push my shoulder blades in. Stay in that position and bring your leg up until you feel, you bring your heel into the hip until you feel that stretch in the quad there. I know. Drop your chin, shoulders down, pull that heel in till you feel that stretch. Take a big deep breath, bring the other leg up. And you're gonna bring that heel in, drop your shoulders, big breath, bring them in, bring them in, bring them in. Hold it for just, I don't know, 3 to 6 counts and bring it in. You'll feel it, okay? So now just bring it up and down, up and down, up and down. Drop your shoulders again, drop your chin again. I know. Okay, now, again, one at a time. You bring the heel in And you can point and flex your foot all you want, but I want you to get that heel close to the hip. See that? Yeah. And then bring it back down, drop your shoulders. Here we go, other leg. Big breath in through the nose. Bring that heel close to the hip. Drop your shoulders. So just pretend you're kind of like treading water and you're on your belly and you're just bringing that leg in there, okay? Okay, take a breath, push into the elbows. And at this point, all I want you to do is act like you're a little inchworm. I want you to pull your tummy in and you're gonna start trying to get your butt up. So you have to tighten and then you push yourself back with the elbows, just like that. And you go out with the hands, just like that, okay? And then you're ready to flip over and have a seat. So go ahead and sit down. I'm just gonna see what time we have here. Ah, we're doing really good. Okay, we have plenty of time. I know you guys are groaning out there. Okay, so here we are. Yes, 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 and yes. And see, I'm sitting down here. I have my little pad here. I have a tea towel that I'm going to use here in just a minute, but I'm going to use this in a little different way. I'm going to put it right here between my knees, okay? Take big deep breaths. I'm going to go squeeze into those knees. See that? Okay, so that's the part that I want you to understand, that we're going to be squeezing this. Now, of course, if you had a nifty little ball that you wanted to put in between your knees, fine. But this works great. So I'm going to help myself back. If I have a back issue, I'm not going to even go back this way because that's enough to get it into more trouble. So I've got my little pad here. I'm going to lean into the side. Then I'm going to roll my little self down. See that? So I'm right down here on the floor. And I'm going to squeeze this block. And I'm going to lift my feet. And before I lift my feet, what am I going to do? Before I lift my feet, what am I going to do? Tighten, brace, take a breath, lift, and squeeze, just like that. And then I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm squeezing in between those knees. Bring it down, don't touch the floor, and bring it back. Big breaths, all the way down, and bring it back. Take a breath, and exhale as you go down toward the floor, and then come back. You can do this very same thing sitting on the chair. Everything you can do. Right here, you can do it sitting on the chair. You just lean back in the chair, and you act like you're going to put your heels down, squeezing that little balance pad. Take a breath, all the way, all the way, all the way. Come back. Here we go. Push, 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 push. Come back. Push into those knees and come back. Take a breath. Push, brace, and come back. Take a breath. Exhale. Do not hold your breath. Drop your shoulders. Woo. Big breath. Just two more, just two more, just two more. Stay with me, stay with me. And bring it back. One more. Brace. Push and come back. Grab and bring the knees in. Just like that, okay? So if you're really into trouble with your back sometime, if you can just, even from your bed, but if you want to get in the floor, if you can, easily enough, do that. But if you can't get in your bed, just lay down, bring those knees in, and then take one leg at a time, one leg, and bring it down and bring it down, and your shoulder stays in contact with the floor or your bed. That's the point. Then I outstretch my hand, and this one is a really good move for all the kegs of the world, okay? So as I'm down there, I'm gonna turn my head the opposite way, turn my head toward the arm, turn my head by keeping my chin tucked. You just go through that range because we don't want our necks not being able to move. Okay, now once I've started feeling that the stretch coming from the pectoral into that shoulder is not as much, and it might take a minute. It might take 30 seconds, a minute. But get your shoulder down, get your knees to the side. Then and only then are we going to start coming up. So how do we come up? We take one leg, then we take the other leg. See how I got my hands? Get my chin tucked, drop your shoulders, take one leg now down, and let the other leg come right into that. But your shoulder stays where? Yeah, in contact with the ground or your bed or whatever if you're on a bench. Okay, take a breath, big deep breath, and you keep, and I can tell you that this pectoral on me is not nearly as tight as my other one. The other one is my shoulder challenge side. But I feel a stretch here. You can be outstretched, you can be arm bent, however you want to, but keep the shoulder down. Take a big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Yes, just meld into the ground right now. Keep your chin tucked, and then you can turn your chin. Turn your chin. I'm much tighter on one side than the other. Take a big breath. After you've held it down there, your shoulders down, and you're way over here with your knees. Big breath. And you're not feeling quite so stretched through the pectoral. Then you take one leg up, then the other leg up. Then you sneak one leg at a time, up, and you point and you flex. And then you're going to put your feet in the floor. Okay, so there's two positions on this very important move to help your back. Okay, you roll with your feet on the floor. Now your shoulders still stay down, but sometimes this little window washer move with your knees up and your feet on the floor is sometimes the only one that you can do because of whatever state your back is in. But this is an excellent move to get yourself out of trouble. Once you've done that a couple of times, you put your feet a little shoulder width, you tighten in that butt, and you lift, okay? And when you come back down, I want you to do just a little fluttery kick. See this? See this? Then you're going to go push, and you're going to lift. And then you're going to come back down, and you're going to go lift and lift. And then you're going to go push into the heels all the way up, and then come back down. And then you go lift and lift, and you're going to go heels down, push up, squeeze, 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 and come back down and come back down, and do it again. Here we go, up, and your heels are down. You can do every one of these on the bed. If you would make this part of your getting up routine in the morning, let's say just do 10 of them. You don't even have to do the 30, but just take your spine up like a string of pearls, put them down like a string of pearls, up, 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 down, down, down. Don't go fast, just keep it going like a wave. Press, press, and then come back down. Then you go up, and up. Point, flex. Get those ankles moving in every single way that they can. It's a point flex and it's a circle. And then you bring your legs in and then go push and you go push and you keep your tummy tight as you're pushing straight out there. Yeah, and then we're gonna do the same little flutter kick. So we're gonna come right out here and we're gonna go little tiny flutter kick. See that? So my tummy's tight, the back is in neutral, and I'm just doing my little flutter kick. You can move your ankles and toes with it. Take a breath, but you're doing, not only are you doing the flossing required for good joint mobility, but you are really doing a core work here. So don't hold your breath. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, and take a breath. Bring it in, just like that. Yeah. Then I'm gonna roll to the side. Then I'm gonna come up on all fours again. And now I'm gonna do something a little different. When you're on all fours, I want you to just go forward a couple of steps. And then I want you to keep one knee stationary. And I want you to do a pivot. Now, if this bothers your knee, get the little balance pad and keep one knee down and do a little crawl around. Then you come back. And don't get worried if you get a little dizzy. Just stop and take a breath. And what you're not doing is you need to focus on one spot. It could be a little crumb, it could be a little lint, so you don't get dizzy. But this kind of ambulation around and back and forward on your hands and knees. Oh my goodness. What do you think made it so that you were strong enough to walk? You had to crawl. Newsflash. See how I did that? So if you would spend time on your hands and knees, I might say, this is a great way to pray because you don't fall asleep. Okay. I know. Okay. Now I'm going to stand up. I'm going to push my feet back. I'm not dizzy. Don't try to stand up if you're dizzy. Just hold on for a bit. Take a big deep breath. Tighten your tummy. Drop your shoulders. Push into the feet. Lift the knees. Equalize. And come up. Okay. Do a big hug. Really big hug. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Open those hands into a W. And put your hands right behind your head and push back. Yeah, push right into the hands. Just push back. Take a big deep breath. That push-pull relieves so much tension in your neck if you can remember to do this. If you don't remember, just pull it up on the YouTube channel. Okay, good for you guys.